What's up, YouTube? So, in this video, I'm going to be scouting the Buffalo Bills defense before we have to play them. I'm going to be looking at them against the Pittsburgh Steelers this last weekend's game. Obviously, this is the only regular season game they played, so it's the only game we have to go by. But we can still get a grasp of what they like to do. They're a 4-3 scheme like last year. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. Take a look at what they're doing. Alright, so they're able to get some penetration, but it's pretty late. Ben had plenty of time to move. By the way, we're going to have to do this to get Tua on the move. Let him get rid of the ball quickly. Just because of our offensive line being bad. But also, this thing that Pittsburgh does helps disguise your offensive line being bad a little bit. If you can kind of push the defensive linemen into each other like this and kind of make them all congeal into one little spot, this can really help because they kind of ultimately end up blocking each other because they're in each other's way as they try to get through the offensive line. So if we can do this, that would really help in pass pro. Got some man coverage. Follow Juju Smith-Schuster. Now, in Miami's game against New England, we had receivers in motion quite a bit to try to help Tua recognize that it's man. Don't be surprised if we do that a little bit more. Yeah, he really had no real running success early on, which is a very real possibility for us because our offensive line is bad too. Yeah, we don't have someone like a Najee Harris. Yeah. So Buffalo likes to do this too. A lot of time, most of the time, Buffalo is going to be rushing for, but they will disguise, make it look like they're going to blitz, and sometimes they actually will blitz. Also, don't be surprised if we see a little bit more complex play design as well. Usually, the first couple games, they like teams slowly integrate their schemes on offense and defense. So, yeah. Okay, let's go. 1st and 10. They're really crowding the line here. Five, six, seven, eight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so there's a single deep safety then. So yeah, like I said, they will sometimes actually bring this pass rush. They do a lot of single high safety things like we do. They're just more of a 4-3 team, but they do some 3-4 things a little bit too. But it is mostly 4-3. Yeah, this is the front we're gonna get most of the time. But again, they have someone deep as well. Really crowding the line, making sure Pittsburgh can't run the ball. They know that Pittsburgh's offensive line is bad, so they're trying to take advantage of that and look for them to do it to us too. We actually get to see the safety here. There's actually 2 deep safeties here. 3rd and long, backing up, makes sense. Trying to prevent the first down. Definitely got to have better throws. To beat the Bills, we're going to have to play pretty damn near perfect. in my opinion. Anyway. All right. Now, that was the first half, and Buffalo was pretty successful against Pittsburgh. So let's see if there was any real differences. It's looking like this is a single high safety look. They're going to back their corner up. I do remember that from last year, too. They like to move their DBs a lot before the snap to help confuse the quarterback. I know that they like to move their safeties around. Like last second, it'll look like it's a one deep safety, and then one will pull back right before. Or they'll have two back there and one will pull forward. And they do a lot of stuff like that to disguise their DBs. So Tua's just going to have to watch out for that. So we've got one guy deep, it looks like. I wish I had the all-22s, man. Now, we were able to tough out some pretty decent power runs with Malcolm Brown at the end of the game last year. In the last game against New England. So hopefully we can get some of that this game too. So we're looking at two deep safeties. They're doing a lot of man coverage though. I am noticing that. Definitely got to prevent that. But, oh, yeah, that was a penalty. See, when I mentioned in the film session, when I was looking at the Dolphins' offense, this is what I was talking about. When you get offsides, throwing the ball because you know it's a free shot. Ben gets picked here, but it's going to get called back. But he still gave his receiver a possible opportunity to make a play. This is what I was wanting Tua to have the opportunity to do. Hopefully not throw a pick like that, but be able to take a free shot. But they blew the whistle. They do a lot of nickel looks, but that's just because Pittsburgh isn't running the ball very consistently, so they're doing a lot of multiple receiver sets. Look for them to do that against us as well, because we also can't run the ball effectively. Yeah, so this is... Usually we can't see it with the broadcast view, but this is what I'm talking about with their safeties. They do it with their corners too. You see how it's a two deep safety look right now, and you got two corners pressing, so that it makes it look like it's probably a cover two look. But right before the snap, this safety is going to come down into the box, and then Micah Hyde is going to move back to be the single high safety, and it is man coverage. So they like to do a lot of tricky things with their defensive backs. Like that. Let's see what happens here. So yeah, they're going to walk him down, move him back. So yeah, they're doing it again here. And they do it with both safeties, because as you just seen, they moved the other safety down and moved Micah Hyde back before, and now they just did the exact opposite. So they do it with both safety positions. So we have to look out for that. And then also sometimes they actually do keep them both back. Like in this case. No, actually Micah Hyde does come down. But they don't always. But they do a lot of man coverage and a lot of cover three. It is mostly single high safety things, even if they're not showing that it's a single high safety thing. Most of the time, one of them is going to come down, either pre or post snap. But sometimes they really do keep them both back. Hopefully we have some big catches like that, probably from Devontae Parker. We had one last week. Got a couple good catches from Devontae, actually. But yeah, still the rushing four look. Like, this is pretty much what we're going to get. They feel pretty confident rushing with their four defensive linemen, with their linebackers there to clean up anything that comes through. but they will disguise some blitzes as well. It's a pretty tricky defensive scheme. Watch a little bit more. All right, let's go back a little bit. Back a little more. Back a little more. Hey, when did this drive start? Should be one more play. Alright, let's take a look at this real quick. I'm just shutting that play down. Then we'll get into the... Yeah, there we go. This was after the 4th down conversion attempt. Gotcha. So we've got a safety... deep. I'm assuming that there's another one back here just based on where he's at. Because typically if it's a single high safety, you're going to have him more toward the middle. He's off the side of the hash marks. He's going to crash. He's going to come down. I assume there's a single high. Hopefully we don't have too many bad passes either. But it does seem that Micah Hyde is the one that comes down the most. But don't get it twisted. They will drop him back into coverage as well. Right there, if you look at this, the way Micah Hyde and this linebacker are communicating, it looks like Micah seen something and told him to rush and to come down. That's interesting. Hopefully we can get some sort of push in those situations. So, yeah. So look at this, right? They're all like right here on the line of scrimmage. And then right before the snap, Micah tells this guy to go back deep. And Micah's also going to drop back. Oh, man, that's so tricky. He tells him to go back, and then he comes forward, and Micah ends up being the single high. That's kind of cool. Like, I hate to say it, but it's kind of cool. This is a football fan. Micah Hyde is definitely the leader of this defense, 100%. Definitely wouldn't mind seeing Mike Gesicki and the other tight ends get a little bit more involved this game. Yeah, some more man coverage. So like I said, they do a lot of cover 3 and a lot of man coverage. But they do mix in a little bit of cover 2. Disguised cover 2. And they also like to make it look like it's a cover 2 when it's actually cover 3 or man. And they also aren't afraid to press even while they're actually doing cover 3. Now, I will say, Levi Wallace, Ben Roethlisberger kept picking on him at the end of the game. Maybe we can kind of do the same. Okay, let's take a look here. Oof. That's just... Yeah, Mike is going to be the single high, pressing here. They're pulling off a little bit here because there's no one at the line. It's not even really pressed necessarily, yeah. Yeah, he kept picking on Wallace with those pass interference calls because he not very good about getting his head around. That might be something we can exploit with Devontae Parker. I don't know if Will Fuller is going to be back or not. I'll do an injury report just like I did in the last game. But I wouldn't mind like switching up who Levi Wallace is on, unless they're going to like deliberately have Tre'Davious White follow around somebody. If not, I wouldn't mind putting Devontae Parker on him to try to draw those types of plays. Do a little bit more of those slants and curls that we were doing last week and last year. But also, I wouldn't mind switching that up and then putting Jalen Waddle on him to kind of route run him to death. I feel like Levi Wallace is someone we might be able to score some plays off of. Yeah, it's Tre'Davious White again. His coverage is actually pretty good, but Ben kept going right at him. Which is interesting. He just doesn't get his head around consistently. It's definitely something we can exploit, potentially anyway. Hopefully they don't fix it. Hopefully they don't bench him. But either way, we're getting a good idea of what the Bills like to do. Like I said, hopefully we can at least get some sort of a run game going. I'm not expecting any kind of consistency with the run, but hopefully we can at least break a few off. Just to keep them honest. Hopefully I have some better throws. They seem to read the screenplays pretty well. They're pretty disciplined. They tackle well. Which we do a lot of screens, so that might be bad. Might have to really switch up our offense a little bit. We're going to have to try to throw it downfield a little bit more. So, yeah, that is what that is. But anyway, I think we have a pretty good idea of what it is. Their defense is still pretty similar to what it was last year as far as like scheme goes. They do a lot of things with their safeties, disguising where their assignment actually is. They're really good about disguising that. They move them all over the field. They move their corners a little bit too. It's mostly a 4-3 defense. They're going to be rushing 4 9 times out of 10, but they will bring some blitzes occasionally, and they are pretty good at disguising them. Like I said, I think Levi Wallace is someone that we might be able to exploit in the passing game, especially with Devontae Parker. Now, they might put Tre'Davious White on him, but I don't know if Preston Williams is going to be healthy or not. If not, actually, I think we're fine either way, because if they decide to guard Devontae Parker with Tre'Davious White, then we can use Matt Collins to do it. Or Preston Williams if he's healthy. Either way, I feel like that's something we should at least attempt. Ben Roethlisberger did it multiple times, so I wouldn't mind trying that as well. So, yeah. Anyway, that's going to be it for this video. If you liked it, I appreciate you hitting that like button. If you have any questions or comments, in the comments down below. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys. So, pretty much every YouTuber on this platform is pretty much doing ads like this. YouTube's ad revenue is broken. It doesn't really pay well anymore, so we have to look to outside sources to make our income. And if you like what I'm doing and you want to support me, I would greatly appreciate you going over to my Patreon. It doesn't take much. Just $1 a month would really help me out quite a bit and continue to help me be able to put out these videos, because I put a lot of time and effort into it, especially during draft season, watching the film and everything like that. So I would greatly appreciate you guys going to check out my Patreon. It is Anime Dolphin, no capitalization. The link to it will be in the description of this video and pretty much every video moving forward. So yeah, if you want to help support me, that'd be greatly appreciated. There's multiple different tiers. It's all explained well on my Patreon account. And if you want to check that out, it would be greatly appreciated. Thank you.